Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Dave Snedeker, who's the Division Merchandise Manager with Nebraska Furniture Mart. Dave, how you doing?
Great, Kemp. How are you?
I'm good. Actually, you're one busy guy because not only are you in charge of the flooring business for Nebraska Furniture Mart, who's opening a fourth store, a major store in Dallas. We'll get to that in just a second. But you're also the president of the National Floor Covering Alliance, right?
That's right.
And their meeting starts on Sunday, so I'd say you're pretty busy.
Well, I'm keeping myself very active right now. That's correct.
Well, let's start with your day job, Nebraska Furniture Mart. Tell us real quick a little bit about what you're seeing in the marketplace as far as sales.
For same condition stores, it's pretty, I wouldn't say sluggish, but it's about even with last year. We've had some ups and downs, weather certainly a part of that. So far, it's just pretty much even with last year.
That's what I'm hearing from a lot of people, that probably mostly weather, but that this year in the residential business is about flat with last year so far.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're getting some bumps here and there. There's pockets of good, like area rugs for some reason has been on a streak lately. But overall, it's pretty much flat with last year so far.
Well, I have a theory there, and blow a hole in it if you want to, but I'm hearing that the luxe side of the market, the upper end of the market's doing fairly well. And I think area rugs, tell me which price points are moving. Area rugs tend to be a luxury item, don't they?
Well, they can be. A lot of people don't get into the luxury side of the area rugs. We do. But I think what you're seeing a lot of is kind of an hourglass effect. It's either the upper end is good and the lower end is good, but the middle is not quite as good as it has been.
Hopefully that'll change as the weather warms up and the housing market starts to get a little better. So let's talk about what's going on in Dallas. I know you've got a major event going on there. You've got a soft opening going on now. Your new store is in the Colony, which is basically north of Dallas, right on a lake, right?
Yeah, it's north of Dallas, about 25 minutes from DFW Airport, kind of right in there with Frisco and Plano.
It is basically, the store's open now, right?
It is open. We actually opened privately March 1st to employees and their families, and then a series of other private events was held, and we officially soft opened the store, and we're going to stay in that mode for a while yet.
Mm-hmm. But you have an event, I think, on April the 8th, which is for vendors. That's considered your big grand opening, and I believe Warren Buffett's going to be there, right?
That's correct. It's a gala event. It's not tied to the grand opening. It's actually tied to a charity event that we're doing, and then really to thank all of the vendors for all of their support in helping us to open that store.
Yeah, most people know Warren Buffett or Berkshire Hathaway do own Nebraska Furniture Mart, and big news this morning with Warren Buffett is he's, I guess, now controlling owner of Kraft or something along those lines.
Right. Berkshire, with their partnership with 3G, are merging Kraft with Heinz.
All right, so back to Dallas. Tell me, that store, you haven't opened a store in a while. The last store you opened was in Kansas City, and I believe that was 10, 11 years ago. So how does this store differ from the Kansas City store?
We opened Kansas City in August 11 years ago, and this store is about 100,000 square feet larger as far as retail space goes than Kansas City is, so it's 560,000 square feet of retail space, and the warehouse is substantially larger as well. The warehouse space is actually 1.3 million square feet.
When you compare flooring area to flooring area, is there much difference?
It's pretty similar, actually. Now, it's not similar in its makeup. In Texas, we have a larger hard surface department and a slightly smaller carpet department because of the product mix there.
Yeah, those Texans, they like distressed hardwood, and their tastes are a little different than some of the other parts of the country, aren't they?
We think that it's probably, the mix is something like 75% the same and about 25% different. It could be a variation of that depending on what product category you're talking about, but we kind of hope they like it all, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so you're going to be at the event on April the 8th?
Yes, I will.
All right, so but then starting around the corner, less than a week away in Charleston, the NFA's getting together. Let's talk about that for a minute. How many members does the NFA have now?
We currently have 42 members. That's consistent with last year as well.
Yeah, okay. And are there any special agenda items for this spring meeting? Because you do get together 3 times a year. You meet at Surfaces in January. You have a spring meeting and a fall meeting.
That's correct. Typically, spring meeting, we do more work with committees as far as kind of the structure of the committees themselves and direction for the year. And that's what we'll be focusing on a lot. We do our 2-minute updates like we do every year to kind of get a feel for where things are with each of our members. We've got a presentation on a couple of items like the laminate situation. And we also have the WFCA is doing a presentation for us this year.
And so most of your NFA members by now have their assortment for the year pretty well locked in, don't they?
I would say yes. You know, our event that we held at Surfaces, the NFA meeting where we had our specialty vendors coming in, was probably the very best one we've ever had. We had the most participation we've ever had, both with members and with vendors. And some of the numbers that I'm hearing from a few of the vendors that have contacted me on this are unbelievable. So it was really successful. So I would say that for the most part, they really have kind of got their mix locked in now.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking forward to going to Charleston?
Oh, very much. Yeah, I could use a few days.
All right, Dave, well, it's great to talk to you, and look forward to seeing you both in Charleston and in Dallas in April. Again, been talking to Dave Snedeker, who's the Division Merchandise Manager for Flooring for Nebraska Furniture Mart, and you've been listening to Kempar and FloorDaily.net.